My fiancée said, I invited my ex to the wedding. If you truly loved me, you would understand. I responded, I do understand. Then I quietly contacted his wife and invited her as a +1. The rehearsal dinner became renowned. I, a 33-year-old male, should have spotted the red flags months ago, but love makes you stupid, right? Been engaged to Jennifer, who is 30, for 9 months. Together for 3 years. The wedding is planned for next month. 200 guests, luxurious venue, the entire 9 yards. Last Thursday, she dropped this bomb over dinner. So, I invited Derek to the wedding. I almost choked on my food. Derek is her ex from college, the man she dated for a period of 4 years, the one she nearly married before they fell apart. You invited your ex to our wedding? She laughed like this was completely normal. Yes, we're still friends. It would be strange not to invite him. Jennifer, that's strange. Her face stiffened. If you truly loved me, you would understand. It shows maturity that we can all be grown-ups about this. Grown up? You want your ex watching you get married to me? God, you are being so insecure. Derek is happily married now. His wife could not make it since she's visiting relatives abroad, but he will be there. It's not such a big deal. Something seemed off, the way she said, his wife couldn't make it. Too rehearsed. Too fast. What's his wife's name? I asked gently. Jennifer blinked. Yes, Sarah. Why does it matter? Just curious. You have met her? Of course. Too aggressive. Many times. I smiled. You are right. I'm being ridiculous. If Derek's important to you, then I understand. She looked shocked but happy. Kissed me on the cheek. You see, this is why I like you. That night, I did some research. Found Derek on social media quite quickly. His wife's name? Barbara, not Sarah. And according to her online profile, she was not abroad. She was a dental hygienist working 20 minutes from our venue. Very interesting. Spent the weekend conducting more research. Found that Derek and Jennifer had been communicating frequently. How do I know? She left her iPad at my apartment, still signed into messages. I understand, privacy violation. But when your fiancé invites her ex to your wedding and lies about his wife, you do some investigation. The messages were nice. Very nice. Plenty of remember when and those were the days, while saying things like, shame it didn't work out between us. And she responded with, the timing is everything. Monday morning, I made a choice. Found Barbara on social media and wrote her a message from my real account. Hi Barbara. You don't know me, but I'm getting married to Jennifer next month. She has invited your husband, Derek, to our wedding. She informed me that you couldn't come since you are abroad, but I see you're local. I wanted to extend an informal invitation. I would like to have you there as my guest. The reception is at Riverside Manor on the 15th. Got a reply within a half hour. Abroad? That's surprising since I'm sitting at my office right now. Derek informed me he had a business conference that weekend. Thank you for contacting me. I will definitely be attending. Oh, this was going to be fantastic. Update 1. The week after I reached out to Barbara was tense. Jennifer started talking about the wedding, last preparations, and seating arrangements. She casually recommended putting Derek at table 3 with my college friends. Why table 3? I asked. Well, he won't know anybody else. It would be uncomfortable to sit him among strangers. How about with your relatives at table 7? She frowned. No, that's too far from, table 3 is fine. Too far from the head table. She nearly said it. At that point, Barbara and I texted a few more messages. Turns out Derek had been behaving strangely for months. Working late, being cautious of his phone, and being unexpectedly interested in fitness. Iconic signs. Barbara had suspected something, but didn't have evidence. I told her about the texts I'd seen. Not every detail that seemed wrong, but enough. She was angry. Not at me, but at them. That manipulative witch, she wrote. And my miserable husband. They deserve each other. We made up a plan. Barbara would come as my +1 to the rehearsal dinner. Optimum impact, that little scene at the actual wedding, if there even was one after this. 3 days before the rehearsal dinner, Jennifer was going over the guest list for the dinner. So, it's only the family and the wedding party, right? I acknowledged. Yes. And Derek. I invited him to the rehearsal dinner, too. I nearly laughed. Why? He was traveling from out of state. Lie. He lived an hour away, so I thought it would be great. That's kind of you. She laughed, misunderstanding my sarcasm completely. The day of the rehearsal dinner, I told Jennifer that I had to pick up a friend who was having car issues. Now the dinner's in 2 hours. I will be fast. They are stranded and require urgent assistance. You head over. I'll meet you there. She was upset but agreed. I picked up Barbara. She looked amazing. Gorgeous black dress, excellent makeup. She was on a mission. Are you ready for this? I asked. 3 years of marriage and he's fooling around with his ex. I'm prepared. We arrived at the restaurant 30 minutes after everybody else had arrived. I stepped in first, with Barbara a few steps behind. The private dining area had around 30 people, our family and wedding party, and seated next to Jennifer at the main table was Derek. Jennifer rose up, smiling. There you are. We were becoming worried. She froze when Barbara stepped in. The room became silent. Derek's face became white. Like real white. The dude looked like he had seen a ghost. Hi, sweetheart, Barbara said softly to Derek. Surprise! My vacation got cancelled. Jennifer's mouth widened and closed like a fish. Barbara, I thought you were abroad. Yes, that's what Derek told me about his work conference this weekend too. Imagine how shocked I was when Andrew reached out to personally invite me. I moved forward. Everyone, here is Barbara, Derek's wife. She will be joining us tonight as my guest since Jennifer was so intent on involving Derek in our wedding party. My mother, bless her, instantly understood something was wrong. Barbara, how great to meet you. Come sit next to me. Update 2. The rehearsal dinner was practically nuclear. Barbara sat between my mother and my sister, just across from Derek and Jennifer. The tension was overwhelming. Jennifer kept trying to act normal, but her voice was trembling. So Barbara, Jennifer started. How long have you and Derek been married? 3 years, Barbara responded, drinking her wine. Though maybe I should ask you how long you've been messaging my husband. Someone coughed. Derek looked like he wanted to just vanish. We're just friends, Jennifer said. Barbara took out her phone. Friends don't send messages at midnight. Friends don't send nude workout pictures. Should I read any of these out loud? Derek eventually spoke. Barbara, please, not now. Not right now. Barbara laughed. Where then? At your fake work meeting? Or perhaps during one of your client dinners that Jennifer always knew about? My groomsman Ryan whispered, What the hell? Loud enough for everybody to hear. Jennifer looked at me, tears pouring. Andrew, this is a misunderstanding. Is it though? I asked calmly. Is that why you lied about Barbara being abroad? Why did you put Derek at table 3 close to our table? Why did you invite him to the rehearsal dinner? You set me up. No, Jennifer, you set yourself up. I simply invited his wife to the party you arranged. Jennifer's dad stood up. What the hell is happening here? Barbara responded. Your daughter's been having an emotional affair with my husband. Perhaps physical, I don't know yet, but she invited him to her wedding while deliberately making sure I would not be here. That's not true, Jennifer screamed. Really? I took out my phone. Should I show everybody the text messages? The ones where Derek says, Can't wait to see you in your dress, and you answer, It's unfortunate for the groom to see it, but not for you? Jennifer's mother gasped. Her father's face became purple. Derek stood. We're leaving. We? Barbara laughed. No, sweetheart. You can leave. I'm enjoying my dinner. She turned to my mother. This fish is wonderful. My mother, a real legend, lifted her glass. To transparency in relationships. Half the room drank. The other half sat in shocked silence. Update 3. After Derek slunk out, Jennifer was in full breakdown mode. Not sad weeping, but angry, entitled madness. How dare you humiliate me like this? How dare I? You invited your ex to our wedding. It wasn't like that. We're just friends who happen to have a history. Barbara laughed furiously. History that was constantly repeating itself. Jennifer's father eventually spoke. Jennifer, is this true? Have you been illicit with this guy? Father, Andrew is blowing things out of proportion. He breached my privacy and scrolled through my messages. Because you lied about his wife, I interrupted. You said her name was Sarah. Her brother Jacob shook his head. Jennifer, what the heck is going on? Jennifer's mask finally shattered completely. You know what? All right. Yes, Derek and I have been talking. Yes, I wanted him at the wedding. He was the one who got away. All right, I needed to ensure I was making the right decision. The room exploded. Her mother began weeping. Her father got up so fast his chair fell over. At your wedding, he shouted. You were going to decide at your wedding. I laughed. Really laughed. Well, that makes this simple. I took out an envelope from my jacket. Please consider this my wedding gift. It was the invoice for all the deposits I'd paid. Location, food, drinks, flowers, and band. $2,000 total. What's this? Jennifer asked. Your father can explain, because he insists on doing things effectively, where the bride's family planned the wedding, but I pay for it. Well, the wedding's off. These are all non-refundable payments in my name. If you want to use them at your future wedding, perhaps to Derek after his divorce, your family can refund me. Her father's face changed from purple to white. You paid all the deposits? Every dime. Jennifer wanted the most expensive packages. I have the receipts. Barbara stood up. Speaking of receipts, Derek, I expect to hear from my divorce lawyer Monday. I'm going to be taking half of everything, even your treasured boat. She turned to Jennifer. You can take him when I'm done. Good luck with a cheat who lives with his mom after I take the house. Jennifer began ugly weeping. Not pleasant tears, but full-on snotty screaming. Andrew, please. We can sort this out. I choose you. You choose me? How nice. After you got caught, you chose me. Her sister Emily, who had been silent, eventually said, Jennifer, you're such a lunatic. You had a nice man, and you threw it away for what? Someone who cheats on his wife. Emily, their mother yelled. No, mother. I'm tired of everybody babying her. She's approaching 30 and behaving like a teenager. The dinner party ended with Jennifer's family arguing, Barbara exchanging numbers with my sister. They hit it off, and me going out feeling better than I have in months. Got a message from Jennifer an hour later. You destroyed my life. I responded, no, you destroyed your own life. I just refused to be collateral destruction. Update 4. The next 3 days were chaos. First, Jennifer tried love bombing. Showed up at my house with flowers. Quite ironic. Wearing the lingerie I'd gotten her for Valentine's Day. Manipulative. Weeping about how sorry she was. Too late. Please, Andrew. I will cut Derek off completely. I'll block him right away. Jennifer, you were using our wedding as an experiment run for your sentiments. That's beyond repair. It was not like that. I was just confused. Confused? You lied about his wife's name. That's not confusion. That's deception. She tried to advance past me into the house. We have to talk about this honestly. No, we don't. Please go before I call the police. You cannot just throw away 3 years. I didn't. You did. The instant you invited him. When that failed, she went nuclear on the internet. Posted this emotional story about how I was controlling, envious, and destroyed her wedding over a harmless friendship. Tagged all our mutual friends. Terrible mistake. Barbara, who had become my surprise friend, commented, harmless friendship? Is that why you told him I was abroad while planning to place him near your wedding table? Then she shared screenshots. Not all of them, just enough. Derek saying, remember that weekend in wine country? Jennifer replied, best 48 hours ever. Dated 2 months ago, when she was purportedly on a work vacation. Jennifer's carefully created victim story crumbled in context. Her mother called me. Andrew, the family is ashamed. Couldn't you deal with this privately? Laura? I tried. Jennifer made it public when she invited Derek to the wedding. But to sneak up on her like that, like she blindsided me with her ex at our wedding, at least I gave her the favor of doing it at the rehearsal itself, not during the real ceremony. Silence. Then the deposits are non-refundable and in my name. $20,000. That's extortion. No, those are repercussions. If Jennifer wants to explain to the 200 guests why the wedding is off, that's her decision. Next came the flying monkeys. Her friends began texting and calling. The story varied. She made a mistake but loves you. Barbara is probably lying about certain parts of it. All couples have issues. The wedding is in 3 weeks. Think about the guests. To each of them, I texted the same answer. She invited her ex she's been emotionally cheating with to our wedding and lied about his wife. Would you marry someone who did that? Many stopped responding after that.